Welcome to the first episode of the Uprise Daily Scoop. I'm your host, Tori Jones, and in this series, we're going to be talking about general NBA news, and we're going to give you guys scores from the previous night. This is hopefully going to be a daily video, and while I'm starting off with these, another YouTuber by the name of Courtside Reports will be taking over for me in the near future. And without further ado, let's jump into the video, and we're always going to start off with news, and the first news topic to cover is Cavs rookie Kevin Porter Jr. being suspended for a game for making contact with a referee. Now, Kevin Porter is from Washington State. He's from the Seattle area. He's a Northwest guy, and this is a guy who's known to be a little bit of a hothead. There were some character concerns about him coming into the draft, and already he's getting suspended in the NBA, so that's not a good look for Kevin Porter Jr. But the second and more interesting news topic is Anthony Davis leaving the door open for a possible signing with the Chicago Bulls once he becomes a free agent next summer. Davis was in the middle of a Q&A segment at a Nike-sponsored event where a young fan asked him if he would ever consider joining his hometown Chicago Bulls. Davis said, quote, "Honestly, it's nothing like playing at home. I don't know. I mean, I am a free agent next year, but we'll see. It's a possibility." And I just gotta say, if Anthony Davis left the Lakers for the Chicago Bulls, I think the Bulls would immediately be a contender in the Eastern Conference. They already have a very nice core, including Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen, and Wendell Carter, and adding Anthony Davis to that group would make that team scary good. And on the flip side, for the Los Angeles Lakers, they gave up a ton of assets to acquire Anthony Davis via trade from the Pelicans this past summer, and if that turned out to be a one-year rental, then I have a hard time seeing LeBron ever winning a ring in LA, and the future after LeBron leaves or retires would look very, very bleak because they don't really have any picks or young assets left. Now, most players in the last year of their deals tend to shut down any free agency talk during the season, so I thought it was very interesting that Anthony Davis not only didn't shut down that free agency talk, he also said it's a possibility that he might join the Chicago Bulls. And honestly, as an NBA fan, and given how loaded the Western Conference is, that's something that I'd like to see. So now let's look at the scores from yesterday, which was Monday night. The first game I'm going to cover is that heartbreaking loss for all of us here at Blazers Uprise and all the Blazers fans watching this video. The Warriors were fielding a G League team, but still were able to beat the Portland Trail Blazers by a score of 127 to 118. Rookie Eric Paschall dropped 34 points on his birthday. Paschall was taken with the 41st overall pick in last year's draft, and he has been a very exciting player for Warriors fans in what otherwise looks like a bleak season. Kai Bowman and Jordan Poole, two other rookies that started for the Warriors, dropped 19 and 16 points respectively, and Damian Lee dropped 18 points off the bench. For the Blazers, they were led by Damian Lillard, who dropped 39 points on 15 for 26 shooting, and Damian Lillard has been playing great for the Blazers, but the rest of that team right now just doesn't look so good. Meanwhile, the Washington Wizards took care of the Detroit Pistons by a score of 115 to 99. Washington was led by Bradley Beal, who ported 22 points, and Troy Brown Jr., a second-year player, had a good game off the bench, dropping 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. On the losing side, Luke Kennard had 22 for the Pistons. In Brooklyn, the Nets took care of the Pelicans in a high-scoring game as they won 135 to 125. Kyrie Irving had 39 points and 10 assists for the Nets, while Brandon Ingram set a career-high 40 points for the New Orleans Pelicans. Now on Sunday, the Rockets got absolutely blown out by the Miami Heat, but they bounced back Monday night, beating the Memphis Grizzlies 107 to 100. James Harden had a vintage James Harden performance in which he dropped 44 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists, and I'd say Ja Morant is the early candidate for Rookie of the Year. He had another good game as he dropped 23 points for the Grizz. The Milwaukee Bucks blew the doors off the Minnesota Timberwolves as they beat them by a score of 134 to 106. Giannis had a great game, dropping 34 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists. And in our final game, which took place in the desert, the Suns handed the 76ers their first loss of the season by a score of 114 to 109. The Suns were led by Devin Booker's 40 points, and Phoenix has looked really good early on this season. They are definitely the NBA's biggest surprise. Now, the Philadelphia 76ers put up a good effort without Joel Embiid, who is serving the second game of his 2-game suspension for the fight he got in with Karl Anthony Towns. But with their loss, there is no more undefeated teams in the NBA. So anyway, thank you guys for catching the first episode of the Uprise Daily Scoop, and I'll catch you guys later.